Now that it's fall, here's 5 stunning leather fragrances that you absolutely have to get your nose on. The first is Roja Qatar. Now, this isn't really listed as a leather fragrance. There isn't even leather listed in the notes. But to me, I get a distinct, very strong, clean suede that makes you feel like you're inside a luxury car. But there's also cotton candy, there's pear, there's saffron, and maybe that's where the leather note is coming from. There's oud, it gives it kind of a chocolatey, kind of a nutty feeling as it dries down. And then there's something that smells kind of like petroleum, which adds to the feeling of being in a car. But it's extremely sexy. It really turns me on when I smell it. This is like being next to a beautiful woman inside a fancy sports car. The next couldn't be any more different. It's Areej Dore's Cuirtis. So this is a new release, but it's sold out, unfortunately. But this is a fragrance of contrast. There's very earthy animalic notes. So there's huge amounts of castoreum, of beaver tail, of birch tar, and is very, very earthy. There's juniper, but then there's floral powdery notes that come from the rose, the osmanthus, the orris, and it gives these kind of contrasts of being powdery and elegant, but also rugged and outdoorsy. But it's an absolute stunner. I'm actually wearing it right now. It's my fragrance of the day. The next one is fragrance du Bois Milano. This should be a lot more popular than it is. The ratings are astonishingly low on Fragrantica, but this has a kind of a fruit basket, almost like melons on top of leather and saffron, and it gives you this feeling of being in Italy, kind of like one of these dried fruit biscottis almost, and having a leather jacket on and driving around Milan. I guess that's why it's called Milano, but an absolutely beautiful fruity leather fragrance, very unique. The next one is also unique. It's Kilian's Royal Leather, and I know a lot of people complain about Kilian. Oh, it's just too airy, transparent, not heavy and thick enough. But this is very heavy wear. It lasts, it's a nuclear, it lasts for 12 hours. It's basically leather with heliotrope and hawthorn and black tea, and it has a distinct kind of vegetal kind of nuttiness, almost like walnuts on top of this leather, and it feels like an old leather, like the leather boot of one of these British horse guards, and that's maybe why it's called Royal Leather. It gives you the feeling of actually being, in the stables of Buckingham Palace having a cup of tea. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and you'll have to get your nose on it. Now, in a completely different price ranges, John Varvatos Dark Rebel Rider. This has got to be the best leather fragrance under $100 in my opinion, if you can still get it. It's essentially a very beautiful suede, like a motorcycle jacket. With cocoa powder, with wood resins. It lasts a long time, but for a Varvatos fragrance, it lasts, for maybe 8 hours. It's very wearable, very unique, like everything in their lineup. It's not, super beast mode, but just spray on more. It actually has niche quality. It's just a little bit dilute, so don't be afraid to overspray it. An absolute stunning fragrance. So you have to get your nose on it if you can. Anyway, I'm actually a novelist, and my 12th novel, The Orphean, is due out. Just a second, let me get it. And it's a day in the life of a men's fashion and fragrance influencer on his way to meet his estranged daughter, and all of the dystopian events in the world taking place around him, and how this all becomes kind of a reflection of his guilt. It's out in just a week, so I encourage you to check it out. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again.